Hi, welcome to Phantastic Feast. I'm your host, Phan. Today we are going to make garlic noodles with shrimp, which is a one-pot meal pretty much. It's super simple and something you can make on a weeknight if you're home from work and you're really hungry. You want to make something simple. It's easy, it's tasty, and it's something that I actually see a lot at boba shops. It's kind of like a side dish, but I think it's really, I love making things that you can make on your own at home and better and cheaper as well. This was inspired by Crustacean, which is a very famous restaurant owned by a Vietnamese family. This obviously is not their secret recipe, but it's a close rendition and it's good enough, I think, that you can enjoy it without having to go all the way to Beverly Hills or somewhere fancy to get the dish. It's obviously not the same thing, but it's a good, good copycat, close enough version of it. So let's get started. I put a pot of water on to boil so you can boil the noodles. You'll need some chow mein noodles that are fresh. These I happen to have gotten from a friend who is a chef. And she made these noodles fresh, so I thought, what can I make with it? So I thought garlic noodle shrimp. So you'll need about a pound of noodles. You can get the noodles at the Asian supermarket. They're in the refrigerated aisle, and you want to find the thickest cut noodles you can find without them being like flat or fettuccine-ish. You want them a little bit round so they can soak up the sauce. You also need garlic, and it's something that you obviously need because it's garlic noodles, but you can add more if you want more. I obviously love garlic, so it's always pretty much a staple in a lot of the dishes I cook. You need about a pound of shrimp. I like the ones with the heads on it because it adds more flavor, because once you remove the heads, the innards make it really tasty, and it adds like a bright fresh red color to the dish, so it's really nice. You also need unsalted butter. You also need oyster sauce, fish sauce, and Maggi sauce. This is what I call the trifecta, and that's pretty much all you need, and it's really simple and it's savory, and you eat it and you feel satisfied afterwards. So those are the kind of things that we want to cook and work on making, because it's something that once you make it, you're like, oh, it's so easy. Why didn't I do this before? So it's one of my go-to staple dishes. So I have a pot of water on boil right now so we can cook the noodles, and while that's boiling, I'll show you how to remove the shrimp heads and the skin and devein the shrimp so that it can go into the sauce. And then we'll also mince the garlic. I'm going to make it really quick and use the nifty little food processor and make my life a lot easier, but that's pretty much all the prep you need, and then after that you're just ready to put it into the pot and start sauteing. So this is my nifty little food processor, and I'm going to mince garlic. I won't need as much as I'm going to mince, but since I have it running, I'm just going to mince it all. And you just need about 2 heaping tablespoons of garlic for this, but just pop it in. Okay. So now here's the fun part, getting your hands dirty and cleaning and deveining the shrimp. Here we are. Obviously, make sure your hands are clean. And this is, I'm going to show you how to do this so that you peel off the heads but keep the innards intact. And basically, this is what you do. You pinch the shrimp's head, and then you pull up, and this will come off, and you're left with these gills, and I take that off. And then with this dish, I peel off the shell, and then I leave the tail on just for presentation. Then you devein it. For this dish, I feel like, the bigger the shrimp, the more exciting it is to have that in your bowl of noodles. But you want to pick like a medium to large shrimp, and that will work. And you don't have to leave the tail. I like it just for presentation. This is when you need a sous chef, so they do all the dirty work for you. But I mean, it's okay. Get your hands dirty every now and then. But I really like this dish only because it's so savory, and it hits the spot for me every time I make it. It's just enough for me to eat and feel like, okay, it's satisfying, and I could even, make enough for my friends to come over and have a bowl as well. I think a lot for me also is I see like these dishes that you could buy at the store or at the cafe, and it's something that I know you can make at home for not only cheaper but fresher, and you can modify it to how you like it. And that is, you know, the inspiration for a lot of the things that I decide to cook, because I think, oh, I could do that. And whether or not it's as good, I mean, it's a good enough representation that I feel like, okay, it's worth trying it at least. Now that I finished deveining and peeling the shrimp, my water is boiling, so let's get my noodles in there. I'll watch it kind of closely. It should take less time because this is fresh pasta, so it'll probably be like 4 to 5 minutes, I believe, to maybe to 6, but I'll watch it and make sure it's al dente, and then from there we'll get everything going. So let's bring our noodles over to the boiling water and get these babies cooked. Okay, and you put your noodles in. Yeah, I love fresh pasta. In fact, I love pasta, period. Yeah, this I have to watch a little bit closer because it is fresh pasta, so it obviously will cook a lot faster than the dried pasta. And you don't want your noodles to be mushy or soggy because they will have to be stir-fried with the sauce and shrimp, so you want to make sure they'll hold up. Beautiful. It pays to have friends who are chefs because they make you fresh pasta, and then they have extra and they say, hey, do you want to come over and pick some up? I said, yes. And then from there you start planning, what can I do with it? And of course I could have done a more traditional pasta, but then I thought, it's been a while I haven't had the shrimp garlic noodles, so it might be something easy to share with people on how to cook. Because for me, I think I try a lot of recipes to see which one is easy, it's good, because there are millions and millions of recipes, and a lot of them are really hard to do, or it's really expensive because you need all these fancy ingredients. And as a home cook or chef, you want something that's simple, that you can do, but that's also impressive and obviously delicious. So when I find these recipes, I bookmark them and I think, okay, that's something I want to share with my friends. And now you guys are all my friends, so this is it. So this is a really good recipe that I really enjoy. Okay, the pasta is ready. I can tell. Okay, let's take this off the heat. I'm gonna bring it over to the sink and drain it. Now that you have your pasta cooked, you're ready to start cooking this garlic noodles, and it's really simple from here on in. You want to take a saute pan, turn the heat on to medium-high. If you have a wok, it's even better, but right now I'm just using a saute pan and that'll work just as well. Medium-high. You add a drizzle of oil, and then to this you add a stick of unsalted butter. And a stick sounds like a lot, but it makes this sauce so creamy and delicious, and pretty much anything with butter in it is delicious, so just go with it. And you just whiz it around, let it melt. It's like a beautiful butter bath. And the garlic's gonna go swimming in it, and the shrimp. But let that get happy. Next you're going to add the garlic, and you don't want the garlic to burn, so you just want to cook it really briefly. You want to do heaping 2 tablespoons or more. Okay. And then to this, it's really simple from here. It's 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, 2 tablespoons of Maggi. And Maggi is like a soy sauce, but better. It adds a lot of depth of flavor. Okay. And that's all the sauce consists of. And at this point, I add the shrimp. And then you cook with the shrimp for about 2 to 3 minutes to make sure that they cook. And then once they are finished cooking, you just add the noodles and toss it up, and that's all there is to it. See, because I love black pepper, I add some of that. And this is when you know the shrimp is cooked. That's what you're looking for, when they start to curl up. Okay, and this is when you add the noodles. Okay. Yum, I'm salivating. You just want to make sure that the noodles are nicely coated in the sauce so that it soaks it up. Give it a few minutes to marinate in Nice sauce. That's all there is to it. Okay. Should taste it to make sure that it the garlic shrimp noodles. Come back after the break and I'll show you how to make madeleines.